Hey everybody, welcome back to Harris Family Adventures. Justin and I just returned from our 5th trip to the Valentin Imperial Riviera Maya, and I love to look at TripAdvisor. We have just booked another trip in the fall. So I really rely on TripAdvisor, and I was thinking about different questions that people have asked me about the Valentin specific, and I don't know all the answers. Please do not hear me saying I know all the answers, but I do have some experience. So I thought, you know what? I have TripAdvisor open on my computer. Let's look through some questions here and see what kind of insight I can provide, if I can. So the first question that I see here, and I'm just pulling them up, is about safety. So safety, security on the resort. I've seen reports of people being robbed at gunpoint on the beach. I can tell you I have never, twice I felt unsafe. Once it was because I saw a little snake, and guys, snakes are my thing. I hate snakes. It was truly like this long, and it was truly like probably this big around, and it was like on the little boardwalk going to the beach, and I saw it skedaddle and I felt frightened. And then just because I don't like a lot of critters and stuff like that, when we went in January, because the sun comes up later, the path would be kind of dark that I would walk through to get to the main pool, and I was always a little bit like, what kind of critters are going to jump out? I've never ever been concerned about my safety from employees, people on the beach, ever. Not once. So that is my experience. Another question, booked a golden swim up suite, wondering what the different tiers involved. So there are a lot of room categories. This is one of the changes I think they made. I've made other videos about changes. I do not believe though that there's a ton of difference in terms of extra benefits that you get outside of the room itself. So if you have a golden swim up, you're going to have, your patio is going to walk right out to the golden pool. The room setup is a little bit different. Actually, I think they look a little bit smaller in the room setup from what I've seen on YouTube. And I do know that as you get to like beachfront, you have different types of tubs that overlook. I do know you have a hammock. If you have a swim up, you do get the clothesline out on your balcony. So you get some perks like that. But in terms of dining and those types of things, once you get to the really high class rooms, they do include a privé package, but everyone can just add that. And then you do get like lobster and things like that. But otherwise, there's not a direct correlation of like, oh, you're staying in a swim up, so now you get an upgraded meal or anything like that. So I'm guessing that would be the answer to their question. Okay, somebody asked, and this was March 16th, is there a lot of seaweed, and do we have to wake up early to get chairs on the beach? I don't like the beach, so I don't spend a ton of time there. I do not really think there's a ton of seaweed. Now, it's natural. Like there's not a lot that the Valentin can do about how much comes onto the beach. I will say this, we spent a couple hours on the beach one day, and the tractor was going constantly back and forth collecting seaweed. So anything they can do, they are working on. I don't think there's enough that it's going to cause any problems to someone who is wanting to swim in the ocean. I will also say we have been there, I think we figured out about 30 days total, which some people go for like 3 weeks at a time. So again, not the expert, but I think one of those days has had a yellow flag. So it is just kind of a rougher surf in general. If you're interested in getting in the ocean, I know that's not what they asked, but yes. Now the Valentin official person did answer this question that saving chairs is not allowed. That's right. That's what's documented, that you cannot save chairs. Everybody does. Everybody does. I actually didn't get there as early this time. Typically I would get down 6:30 or 7, and I do sit there, and with other chairs that I've saved, I would say if you get down there 7:30 or later, it's gonna be really tricky to find any chairs in the shade. And if you get there 8:30 or later, you're just not. Now, I will say that's for the pool specific. We have never had a problem with finding a chair on the beach. You might end up being pretty far away from where the boardwalk leads you, but finding a chair on the beach is never a problem. And here's a little tip. So I'm going to put the map here. Most people, when they go to the beach, they go to that main bar, the one with the swings. The path takes them there. It goes like, you take the path, you can go off to Marantier, or you can go down to the beach. That's where the privé beds are if you're part of the privé club. And there's tons of chairs. And again, you might end up having to go down a ways. But there's another bar on the beach, and it's just down a way, closer to those oceanfront rooms, closer to buildings like 10 or 11. And that's where we go, and there's like we were there at like 11:30 in the morning, maybe half of the chairs were taken. So no, you do not need to save chairs on the beach. You do need to save chairs by the pool. And no, it is not allowed, but you do, and everybody does. Okay. This person said it's their second stay, but they're asking about dress code. Well, haven't you already been? Okay, so at night, my husband has to dress up each night since the buffet isn't open for dinner? Question mark. Collar, dress pants, jeans, clothes, shoes? Yes. Every restaurant has a dress code. Marantiera is the least formal, so men can wear shorts to Marantiera. I believe they still need a collared shirt for that. Women, we can wear whatever we want. I mean, I've seen it all. All of the other restaurants except for Marantiera, men have to wear long pants. They do say jeans are okay. I think at the French, maybe jeans aren't okay, but they have to be like, they say elegant jeans. Here's the deal. I think they have dress codes in place so that if someone comes up with really ragged jeans or something like that, they can't enforce it. I have seen them enforce the dress code. I have seen them say, no, sir, you cannot wear shorts into our restaurant. I have seen them have people, like they won't seat you. So yes, men do have to wear long pants. Men do have to wear collared shirts and closed-toed shoes. Honestly, khaki pants, a pair of loafers, and a polo shirt from Target, and you're fine. This isn't super, super fancy dress up, so it's fine. I know husbands can sometimes grumble about it, but it's absolutely fine. And yes, there is a dress code. The dress code also applies to Don Miguel's, which is the fancy bar with the fancy dry ice drinks and all of that type of thing. So yes, you do. There is no buffet at dinner, which sometimes you do, but there is 24-hour room service that's absolutely free. So if you're really, you maybe are sunburned and you're just really not, okay, don't. You can wear shorts to the show. You can still go to the show. You can still go to the band and the plaza. You can still do the DJ. You can still go to the sports bar. You can go to the martini bar. There's a lot of things you can do. You just cannot go to the restaurants if that's not something that you're interested in. Long pants. Okay. This is about pricing specific, but it is in Mexican dollars, so I am not going to be helpful for that. I will say typically we will book on Black Friday. We find that they typically have a Black Friday sale. What's interesting is we are looking at going next March, and according to the Valentin website, it's an air code every time, and according to, I just put it into Travelocity. Typically we book through Valentin, but I just put it in and they said all the rooms are sold out. So we do typically book during Black Friday, but they have decent Black Friday sales. Oh, that question is in German. I am not gonna be helpful there. This person said, planning to arrive at the end of March. Are there any restaurants undergoing renovations and therefore closed? There are not at this point. When we were there, every single restaurant was open. We were there March 20th through the 24th. So every restaurant was open. And again, there's a lot of availability. If I went and the Italian would have been closed, that would have been a bummer. Yeah, that would have been a bummer, but no, otherwise they're all open as of now. Okay, back to chair saving. It said they were there in 2022, and yes, at that time they were really trying to do the no reserving chairs. So I would see staff coming around and taking people's things off their chairs. And I had even saved like 2 chairs out of the pool and 2 chairs in the pool, and they took the things off of my chairs that were in the pool, and I said, oh no, those are my friends, they just went to breakfast, like they're coming back, and they kind of like begrudgingly put it back on. So I've seen that once. 2023 they'd given it up. 2024 it wasn't an issue. So again, we strive diligently to maintain order. We request that nobody save chairs, but people do. And no, staff is not removing that anymore. Buffet is La Marche. which is kind of located closer to the rest of the restaurants. It's not, so Martintier is by the beach. Your other breakfast option is going to be La Marche, and that is buffet for breakfast and for lunch. I just always think back to 2 years ago when some subscribers said, you have to include this. So there is an air-conditioned room also that's part of La Marche. You can request to be in the air-conditioned room. We find the buffet to be delightful. We love it. The pizza is so good. Yeah, so that is the only time there is a buffet is breakfast and lunch at La Marche. I hope that's the easiest way to say it. Going in April for 2 weeks, just wondering if it is busy or if there's reduced capacity. And then about the weather. So we went, again, we've been in January, we've been twice in March, and then twice in June. I'm really happy that I convinced the group to go in March this year, because last year's have been June and it's just so terribly hot. And we'll be in Mexico in June and it'll be terribly hot. March is perfection. March is perfection. We did not see, I think what you get with the Valentin, because it is more expensive than other resorts. It is not the most expensive. Ooh. But it is more expensive. So we have never had a problem with spring breakers. We've never had a problem with big groups of graduation parties. I'm smiling because at the Barcelona last year, that's what we encountered, and that's the same time we're going this year, so that might be something we encounter. And this time when we went, it said that they were at max capacity, because I had just looked at like other rooms and how much they would cost, and the only other room available was like the fanciest of the fanciest room. But we still didn't feel super crowded. Yes, chairs were not really available, but that's been the case every single time we've gone. And yes, we did have to wait for dinner, but you go get a drink, chat about the state of the world, and then you go eat dinner. So I think even at max capacity, it doesn't feel super, super, super crowded. Also, the weather was fantastic. It was in the upper 80s, lower 90s. It's very, very humid. So the heat index, yes, it feels like upper or mid to upper 90s. But I just remember, and I don't know if I still have the screenshot. I had checked at like 8 o'clock in the morning last June, and the heat index was already 98 degrees Fahrenheit at 8 o'clock in the morning. No. Also, if you get worried, if you're looking and it's saying thunderstorms, just know there's always a chance of thunderstorms. If there is an actual thunderstorm, having been to that region of Mexico many, 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 many times, I would say the longest thunderstorm we've ever experienced was maybe 45 minutes. Most of them are 10 minutes. So you can just go under the bar overhang and hang out. Yeah. Would a rollaway bed be possible for an adult child for a room occupancy of 3? And so somebody had said, yes, you can ask your building concierge. They do have rooms that have 2 beds, so I think that might be a better way to go. Last year, if you watched our videos, Justin and I got a room with 2 beds. That was not what we requested. And then they offered to come and push them together. So we got mega bed because it was 2 queens shoved together, and it was awesome. And our couch was a pull-out couch. I think that might be an option as well. All right, somebody asked if the privé was worth the price, and people just responded that it's very, I mean, that's really up to you. Here is the information from the app from March of 2024 about what privé includes. And I believe, and you're seeing it here, I think it's like $77 a person a day, and you have to get it for 3 days. Now, if you really want to have a Bali bed reserved for you, if you love lobster, if you want fresh flowers in your room, I'm just trying to remember some of the things that I saw there. You know, if you want to do it, do it. We have never done it, and we continue to go back year after year, so that tells you that we don't really need it. Okay, somebody asked, experience bringing young adults, 20 and 21-year-olds, were there other people that age? In 2022, it was June, there seemed to be a younger crowd. The friends we went with, they had gone a couple days before we got there, and we met them for lunch, and she said, it's a lot older crowd. And I was like, oh. And we started looking around. This time, it was the oldest crowd that we'd ever experienced. I mean, there were times, again, Justin and I are in our 40s, and there were times I'd look around and I was like, Justin, I think we're the youngest people here. But that isn't, that seems like an anomaly. I have seen, I don't think 18-year-olds, but I have seen 20 to 25-year-olds, a plethora of them. Again, I think because it's cost a little bit more, you don't tend to get as much of the young, like high school graduation, spring break crowd. But there are activities. So I think a 20 and 21-year-old would have a good time. It's been a while since I've been 20 and 21. Can you smoke on your balcony? No. You cannot. I wanted to make sure, and I'm reading the official response, which is no, you cannot smoke on your balcony. There are a couple of places that you can. They are marked off. It's kind of like if you're on a walkway, it'll be off of one of the walkways, and there's no benches, there's no chairs, so you would just see people just kind of standing there smoking, and it kind of looks like they're in timeout. So we do not smoke. That's not something that has affected us, but no, there is no smoking in your TVs or in your on your balcony. This person is asking about the television channels. There are some different television channels that you're not gonna find on average cable, and that is still the case. That's all I'm gonna say about that. Are the pools heated? So this person had asked in December, saying they were going in a couple of weeks. Are they heated right now for regular guests, not preferred club? Okay. There's the pre-veg package, but that has nothing to do with heated pools. They might be thinking the golden pool. Some people think you have to be staying in one of those rooms in buildings 6, 7, or 8 that surround the golden pool to access the golden pool. You do not. No. All of the pools are open to all of the people. Yes. None of the pools are heated. So when we went in January of 2020, the pools were very, very cold. I was trying to think, maybe once a day we would get in the pool. I know we did get in for the foam party, but my sister has a really funny footage of just all of us like getting in, making that face as we all got in to go to the foam party. So if you were going November, December, January, they're going to be chilly. The pools at this time were fantastic. It's that a little bit chilly when you get in, but then you become acclimated to it and it feels great. The pools in June are like a bath, and it feels like 110 outside and you're getting into a bathtub. So that's not necessarily refreshing, but it's better than cold. So in December and January, the pools are quite chilly. They are quite chilly. Oh man, this person has a really long question. Okay. They wanted to come in March. Oh, maybe I saw them. Looking at buildings 6, 7, and 8. Which building gets the best sun, has more private suites, and better location for everything? They said it looks like on the map, 8 has more private suites and the sections better the farthest walk to the main building. How is the walk? The resort. Okay, we're just gonna take this one at a time. 6, 7, and 8 are the ones around the golden pool. I don't necessarily know which ones would get the best sun or the most private. Here's the thing, because they're kind of rounded, and because if you watch the other video, I talked about how we are spending more and more time at the golden pool. We're enjoying it more and more. So I'm kind of like noticing things more. I'm really like looking around and thinking like, since we're spending more time here, would it be worth it for a swim up? It would not for us. Some of the rooms are, now I need my hands. Some of the rooms, like here's their door, here's the patio, and then they have very little like green space. You have your 2 loungers there, very little green space before that pool starts. It's not as some resorts you've seen, like the pool kind of goes up to each room. It's not that. Some, just because of how the buildings are laid out and how the pool is laid out, they do have more space between the pool and the room. Some, that pool is really close to your room, and as you're walking, just regular people in the basic room like me, as you're walking to go find a spot to sit, you are kind of walking in their yard. I felt like I was kind of like invading their privacy, but I wasn't. I was just walking along the edge of the pool. So I do not feel like they have a ton of privacy. Now, could I see in any of them? No. But did I try? No. But depending on not necessarily which building, 6, 7, or 8, but just where in the building you are, you could have a lot of people pretty close to like your outdoor lounging area. So I would say where in the building is more important than the building itself. 8 would definitely be the farthest walk. 8 and 9, which I know 9's a beachfront building, but those are the farthest from the main lobby, which is also where the restaurants and the plaza and all of that's located. And especially like if you're at the end of building 8, if you've had a long day in the sun and you've been dancing your feet, that's going to be a long walk. Just know that that's a very long walk. So the first time we went, we stayed in building 7. The next time Justin wanted to upgrade again, and because we upgraded at check-in, I said, that's fine, but I don't want building 7. Like, I want to be closer. So we stayed in building 6. Building 6 is pretty nice because it's pretty easy to get to the main pool from there. It's also not as long as a walk. Now, buildings 4 and 5 are our new favorites. I mean, we've stayed in them for 3 years now. 4 and 5, I think, all the way. Okay. Is it hard to navigate the resort? I feel a little jaded because I've been there 5 times. So for me, no. There is, as part of the app that's new this year, there is an interactive map. So it can, if you allow it to track your location, it can tell you how to get to where you want to go. So that's really awesome. I think that makes it easier to navigate. There are also golf carts and other kinds of like extended golf carts. You can always ask for a ride somewhere to go. I would not say it's tricky. I think honestly having the restaurants all kind of centrally located makes it pretty easy. Like that's kind of the hub at night. The main pool is kind of the hub in the morning or during the day. So I do not find it hard to navigate. Is prepay worth the extra charge? Again, I think that's really optional. We love swim up seats in general, but privacy is important and love having the beach as well. So your golden swim ups are not going to be along the beach. So that's kind of a bummer. Oh, this rests of knee. Okay. This is all same person. The small pool next to the main pool near the massage palapas is the quiet pool. Thoughts? It is a very quiet pool. It is just a rectangle. There's nothing fun about the shape. I did see, because I've talked before, like I don't even think they have drink service there. I did see somebody bringing drink service. I think the lore is once upon a time it was a pool just for guests who had reserved through a certain travel agency. It is now open to everyone, and it is pretty quiet. It's a lot closer to the main pool than the golden pools though, so you're gonna get a lot more of that overflow noise. You're not gonna get breeze because there's a lot of vegetation. Are any pools heated? No, they are not. With the prevay package, where are the beach beds you can reserve? So if you get the prevay package, when you walk down that path to like the main section of the beach, the beds that are going to be reserved for you are going to be off to the right side. So the beds for us normal people are off to the left side, and there's a ton of them. Yours are going to be off to the right side. You can, as I understand it, either reserve a Bali bed on the beach or a Bali bed by the pool. If you choose the pool, it's going to be by the main pool, but on the quiet section of that. So the main pool, but the part of it that's closer to the beach. Those are the only 2 places. So there are no prevay package beds by the golden pool or any other areas of the beach. Yes, so it says, are they all to the left, or can you reserve any beds in front of the Emerald Suites? No, you cannot. How can I respond about booking? I've reached out through Expedia and Instagram multiple times, but not getting a response. I have found the contact emails on the website to be helpful. I've used those in the past and I've gotten a response. So I would say if you're wanting to reach out, look at the Valentin website, use that contact. And I haven't tried other than asking if they still had caprese salad. That was the only thing on Instagram. But that was in response to a prompt of them asking, do you have any questions? So, coming February 2024. So they've already been and gone. Need shade due to skin cancer issues. I hope they are doing well. How hard is it to get an umbrella or palapa at the beach? At the beach, it's not a problem. Not a problem. You can go any time of day and sit in the shade. It is super, super easy. The pool, wake up early and enjoy the sunrise, but the beach, it's not gonna be a problem at all. You have to walk to the beach and that's not covered, but no. Oh man, which suite slash floor slash building is best to be close to the beach slash golden pool? Again, here's the map. So it goes, well, you see it on the map. Ocean, beach, obviously. And then there's the beachfront rooms. Those are only 2 levels, buildings 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Walkway, vegetation, golden pool. So there are not any, I would say the best bet you're gonna have if you want easy access to both the golden pool and the beach are going to be at the end of building 6 or the other end of building 8. Those are going to be your best options, or building 9 because you have a quick hop into the golden pool from there, or maybe buildings like 12 and 13. But if you're in building 10, like it's going to be a big walk around to get from one way to the other. Which floors? So most of the buildings have 3 floors except for 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Those only have 2 floors. All buildings have elevators, all buildings have stairs, and we use the stairs. So I don't know that there would be a floor that's best. If you want to see the ocean, I pretty much have to be on the 2nd floor of the buildings that are oceanfront, because they're not really oceanfront, they're beachfront. But okay. Oh man, this is almost half hour. Okay, French restaurant open or closed? It is open as of March 2024. Tips and gratuities. Staff prefer USD or pesos. We always take USD. Always. We always take USD. 1s, 5s, 10s, a couple 20s. I don't think we used any 20s this time. 1s, 5s, and 10s. I've talked about tipping before. Typically what we do is $1 or $2 for drinks, kind of, I mean, we started this trip with 6 of us, so obviously we're not gonna do $1. But there was one time that I just wanted to grab a drink. I didn't have any money handy, and I just got a drink, and I didn't tip. And we've never once had any expectation put upon us by any staff member anywhere at the Valentin for a tip. They've never stood there awkwardly. They've never. And this one time that we didn't tip, it was like every other time that we had. So, yeah. And then we'll typically do, depending on service, $2 to $5 to $10 for a meal, or at the buffet, and usually $5 for room service. We got a lot of room service this last time. New Year's Eve celebrations, I don't know, we've never been for New Year's Eve. The pools will be cold, I will tell you that. Okay, a lot of people wonder about water in Mexico. We've never gotten sick from the water, and again, we've been to the Valentin as well as many other resorts in the Cancun area and Cabo area. The ice that's used in drinks filtered, or is it advisable to order drinks with no ice? Get ice. Get ice. You'll be absolutely fine. I would say take straws, because they're not going to give you straws, and that's how I like to drink them. But no, they give you ice, and you'll be absolutely fine. Now, we don't drink the water like out of the sink, or I guess if you're in the shower, we don't open our mouth, but we don't do that anyway. Brushing our teeth, we use the bottled water that they give us. They gave us 6 bottles of water every day, so we were absolutely fine there. And I think that's gonna be it, because this last question that I'm seeing, I mean, it's not the last question, but it's about massages, and we are not massage people. So if you want to get one, I would love that for you, but we are not. I might do this again, depending on if you guys like it. Let me know. Let me know if you have any other questions, and I will do my best to answer.